I kind of want to be single. But even then, even though I want to be single, I still have these crazy expectations. Have you ever been a part of a sports team? Maybe it's football, maybe it's soccer, basketball, any sport where there's a group and there's just one person, maybe two, that you don't really like. You're not really compatible with them, your values aren't the same, everything's just kind of off. And you're like, man, if only this person wasn't there. But then you realize as you go on in your season or semester in school or however you're playing the sport, you kind of get used to them. Maybe you don't have things in common and maybe your values aren't the same and maybe that never changes. Your compatibility levels is low and your values are never the same. But you get used to them and maybe you start liking them a little better. And it happens all the time. I've been a part of plenty sports teams where I absolutely hate some of the people I'm teammates with, but I ultimately get along with them for the greater good of the team, and I realize, maybe everything about them isn't so bad. And it happens a lot in sports teams, and sometimes even in friendships and friend groups, but the one place where we struggle so much to bring this mindset of just being comfortable over time is relationships. See, I've been listening to this podcast called Diary of a CEO, and he brings on different famous people all the time. And he was talking to this one matchmaker. Like, literally, matchmaking is an actual career. He's been doing it for a long time. And he said one of the biggest misconceptions that people have is that you're going to find your perfect person. You're going to find someone who checks off all your boxes, and everything's going to be sunshine and rainbows. But unfortunately, that's just not how life works. And sometimes we need videos like this one, podcast people like that guy I was listening to really tell us and show us the facts and the studies for us to realize, like, oh my gosh, maybe they're right. I'm not going to find my perfect person. And, a little bit of that is kind of, you don't like it. Nobody likes hearing they're never going to find their perfect person, but you're never going to find your perfect person. You need to stop waiting on the one. You need to lower your standards. What do I mean by that? Because I myself have some pretty dang high standards. What I mean is that you cannot expect someone to just pop up randomly into your life and have everything you've ever wanted. In my experience, if I've ever saw a girl who's just a bombshell, she's just the best looking girl I've probably seen in the past 6 months. That happens occasionally. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my person. And maybe I get to know them. They're checking off all the boxes. And eventually I run into something. I hit a wall. And I'm like, oh, they were checking off all the boxes, but they left one box unchecked. I can't do it. I can't do it. They're not my perfect person. I know they had 9 out of 10, but because they didn't have 10, I can't do it. And that's what this guy in this podcast was saying. He says that if your expectations are 10, even if they score 9 out of 10, they're not going to make the mark. You're not going to feel satisfied with that because your expectations were 10. And a lot of people have these super high expectations, especially girls. But guys, we have high expectations too for the people that we want in our lives. We need to be held accountable for that. And we need to understand that there's going to be people in our lives that we just have to kind of just get along with. I've seen plenty of guys in my friend groups that I end up really liking. But at the beginning, I absolutely hated them. I absolutely hated everything about them. The way they talked, the way they looked, their values. Maybe they weren't a Christian and I'm a Christian and I didn't like that. And everything was just different from me. And you know what? Some of those people are my best friends now. Some of those people are people I would invite to my wedding. They're going to be some of the first people they get the call when I have my wedding one day. And it's because we get used to it. But why don't we do this in relationships? It seems so easy. It's kind of a meme that guys can form friendships out of nothing. Like, I've seen this meme all around the internet where you'll see a guy walking down the street, and if you do it 5 times, the guy he ends up being the godfather of your kids or something stupid like that. And we do this, but the second we get in a relationship and someone doesn't meet all of our expectations, we're done. Society nowadays, it's too many options and too many things that you could just swipe left. Don't give people the light of day. And maybe it's not relationships for you, maybe it's friends. I don't think anybody should be without friends. But I know there's some people out there who will stop themselves from being friends with people just because they aren't the ideal friend. They say, oh, well, being lonely is better than being with this person that I hate. Or better being a couple of people that I hate. Or maybe I'm a part of a big group, but there's 3 out of the 10 people that I really don't like, so I'm not even going to be a part of the big group. No. We were meant for connection and friendship and relationship. See, in my grind for success and making videos and doing so many things productively, I need to understand that if I'm someone who wants to make new friends, who wants to go on dates and meet people, there's going to be people I'm not that compatible with. And for some reason, we are so bitter. We can be so mean and rude to people if they just aren't checking off all our boxes. And maybe you aren't in the best position to have a committed relationship right now. I don't think I am right now. I kind of want to be single. But even then, even though I want to be single, I still have these crazy expectations. And if I go on a date with somebody, I know that right now, if I have an expectation of 5 and they meet 4, I'm probably gonna stop talking to them or stop going on dates with them, maybe even stop being friends with them. We do this to people so much without even realizing because we think there's so many people in the world that we don't have to worry about this one person that could be our friend. They aren't the best friend. We can just go find another friend. Or this girl, they aren't the best girl, so I don't want to make them my girlfriend. I don't even want to go on any more dates with them. They aren't doing anything for me. But you got to give people a chance, man. Videos like this, you got to give it a chance. You got to keep watching. Maybe I didn't like the first part of this video, but let me keep watching to see if there's something else I can, relate to. People just leave. They give up. They're waiting on the perfect person, the perfect moment, the perfect friend. That's never going to happen. That's not how life works. You got to work for things. We're meant to work for things. Relationships, friendships, opportunities, videos like this that I want to make. I can't keep waiting for the perfect moment to make this video. I can't keep waiting for the perfect girl to come into my life, and that's when I'm going to start dating girls. I can't wait for the perfect friend group to come into my life, and until that happens, I'm just going to ignore people and not be friends with anyone. We can't keep doing this. We got to work on it. We got to give people chances because people deserve chances. You would want to be given a chance. I wouldn't like it if someone came up to me and said, I thought you were really cute. You had a great muscular build. You talk great, everything, but I saw the gap in your teeth and I'm like, I'm gone. What? They're just gonna leave because they saw the gap in my teeth? They didn't even really get to know me. That's how we are. And we gotta stop. Give things chances. Work on things. Problems, people, relationships. We gotta give it a chance. We gotta see beneath the surface. We have to open the book and read rather than just reading the front cover and saying, not really my thing. We're going to have better friendships, better relationships, a better dating life, a better career if we work on things. Sometimes it can feel scary and maybe we're scared of commitment to a job, a friend, a partner, but we got to keep working because the opportunity to leave is always going to be there. It's going to be there when you're dating 5 times, when you've been dating 50 different times, when you're a friend for 5 years, When you've been in a career for 1 year, it gets a little harder, but the opportunity to leave is always there. So understand that you got to work on things. Stop judging the book by its cover and dig a little deeper. Maybe you'll find out you like that girl. You like that 3 friends out of the 10 friend group that seemed a little odd. On your sports team, that one teammate you didn't like, he's not too bad. Give people a chance, man. Stop judging the book by its cover because you wouldn't want to be judged by your cover. I don't want to be judged by the gap in my teeth or the fact that I have big eyes. Got to get to know people. And I hope that you can get to know more people because I'm trying to do that right now. Thank you guys for consuming this content, listening, watching, wherever you're getting it from, and I hope you have a blessed day.